Hi, Linda Bowen here from StampingLinda.com, your cardiologist since 1997, helping you create cards from the heart. Today is Tuesday in Funfold, and once again, I am using that online exclusive bundle, Sunrise Sailing. This has a 3D embossing folder. You can use it with the dies or just as an embossing. And I have taken a piece of the pecan pie, a two-tone cardstock, and have run that through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. We are going to go in and grab that sanding block and just kind of sand around the edges, not completely, just to give it some highlight of that two-tone cardstock. I've said over and over again, I really love the look it gets when you emboss and use that two-tone cardstock. Another great way to use your two-tone cardstock is for layers. Because it's so thin, it doesn't add a lot of bulk to your card. Next, what I'm going to use is the beautiful Gallery 6x6 paper. Now, this is part of a bundle that has floral in it, but the Designer Series paper also has some soft watercolor painting looks that are scenery. So we are going to use that. On one side of the paper, there is a printed image, but on the other is a soft look. So we're going to grab our trimmer. This is just another Funfold, a great way to use your paper, and we are going to cut it at 5 1/4 across the bottom or the top. I think we're going to take the sky, some of the sky off, so we're going to cut it at 5 1/4. You can use that piece for another project, and then we are going to cut it at let's see, we did 5 1/4, so now we need 4-inch. Let's see, I think I want the 4-inch this way because I want to see those ships. So we got 4 inches, and then we've got 1 7/8. See, let me grab my snips. I didn't go all the way up with my trimmer, so we did 4 inches. And then we're going to flip it around and we're going to do 1 7/8. There we go. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our card base. This measures 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. We are going to score it to make our standard card at 4 1/4. So there's our card. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a piece of the Early Espresso. This measures 3 3/4 by 4 1/2, and along the 3 3/4 inch mark, we are going to score at 3 inches. Like that. We're going to bring in a piece, we want to make sure that's nice and crisp, a piece of basic beige, and we're going to bring the stamp set from the Sunrise Sailing, and we are going to stamp the verse. Whoops, help if I didn't put it on upside down. You're destined for great things. We're going to add that to a piece of Early Espresso. This measures 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. Oh, and I see I made that the wrong side. Just let me go in here. I've got 2 3/4. And I had 4 1/4, but it should be 4. So let me make sure. Let's take it off this end. Hate when I have my adhesive and then have to use my trimmer to cut. I think it did make too big of a mess. So that is, oops, I cut it off the wrong end. Let's go this way. What is it? Measure once, or measure twice, cut once. Let's see if we can do this right. I'm just going to take the smidgen off each side. I will have the correct measurements over on my blog, stampingwithlynda.com. There we go. Good enough. Okay, so now we're ready to assemble the card. We're going to go back into our designer series paper. Again, this was 4 by 5 1/4. We're going to add this to the back side of our card. This card design was inspired by an Easter card that I received from a downline member, Lee Amber Gary. We've got that. What we're going to do next is we're going to take that 3 3/4 by 4 1/2 inch piece, and we are going to add adhesive to that 1/2 inch fold. And we're going to eyeball it in the middle and line that right up against that score line. We're going to add our layered piece. You know what? That's where my mistake was. I was using this piece. It was supposed to align with this. And I cut this down smaller, but it is okay. It will work. Again, head over to my blog, stampingwithlynda.com, and I'll give you the exact measurements this is supposed to be. So we've got that. I was supposed to score the front of this card. Boy, I scored once. Remember, I scored it the 5 1/2, or excuse me, 4 1/4, scored it 4 1/4, and I should have scored once again on my card base at 2 1/8. So let's go in, no mistakes, just reason to correct my mistake, not embellish this time. So this is the way the card should look. Wow, did I make that difficult or what? So once again, our card base is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Should have been scored at 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. We're going to add the other piece of designer series paper, but we're going to use the opposite side. And that color matches the two-tone cardstock that I used. Going to add the two-tone to the piece of Early Espresso. Add adhesive to the one side for the front flap. Again, don't want to add too much adhesive so that our card will open. And then we will just line that up like so. Now, if you use the correct measurements that I used, that was supposed to be used before I cut it down, this would just line up, but it still lines up very well. You've got your verse, and then the top of your card looks like so. Again, very easy, fun fold that I just made super difficult. Have any questions, head over to my blog, stampingwithlynda.com, and I'll have the actual measurements there. Have a great day. Bye-bye.